In today's video, we're going to be doing a revisit and also an update video to COD Cold War here in 2022. Now, because this is an update video, I will leave links in the description to previous videos that I've done, and you can see how my opinion has changed about the game over time. To sum up my overall experience with Cold War, I will say it has been a love-hate relationship. In terms of my recommendations, I'm going to let you know outright, I do recommend this game when it's on sale and everything works right, but this game's optimization is a bit funky at times, and updates can actually break the game. Even at this midpoint here in 2022, I still see crashes quite frequently depending on what map I play. It seems like some crashes are still kind of unknown to what actually causes the problem, and it's maybe something that you might want to look out for if you are considering actually picking up the game. However, I still can recommend it if you're playing with friends too, because actually it's kind of enjoyable that way. Now, thankfully, because of the crossplay functionality that this game offers, searching and finding games, you won't really have many issues in this area. It seems that Cold War still has a pretty big pool of players to pull from. I did do a search on all the playlists and all the individual game modes. There was only one game mode from the quick playlist that I actually couldn't find, and that was Combined Arms. Every other game mode only took about 1 or 2 minutes to actually find a match, but it's also very important to point out right now that SBMM, or skill-based matchmaking, could be a factor here. I say this because, well, I think Combined Arms might be my best game mode. I don't know if that's going to be score per minute or kills per game. I probably do get the most kills in that game mode, to be honest, so maybe there is a smaller pool of players for me. I don't know. It's a shame to see, and it's probably the game mode that I'd want to play the most, but basically what I'm trying to say is all the fan favorites are still going to be there. You're not going to have trouble finding games like Team Deathmatch, Domination. All the classic modes are going to be available for you to jump right in. And on that note too, not even just multiplayer but also the zombies. Well, that's if you do like to play the zombies game mode. Basically, when it comes to population, because of that crossplay functionality, I don't think you have to worry about this game until it gets maybe a couple of generations old. And I think it's actually kind of lucky this game that Vanguard came out, and quite a few people still prefer this one over that. Its popularity has never been as big as something like Warzone, obviously, because that's free to play, but as this game matured in its life cycle, I'm pretty sure it picked up a few more players, and probably got a little bit more popular thanks to the fact of the inclusion of the Black Ops 1 and 2 maps. The remastered maps that you will find within Cold War is Nuketown, Express, Raid, WMD, Standoff, Hijacked, Drive-In, Rush, Slums, Zoo, and also Jungle. I would say for the most part that these remastered maps actually play pretty well with Cold War's mechanics, but the experience that you're actually paying for if you are interested in the remastered maps, you're really paying for the updated visual aspect, as I still think that the original experience of Black Ops 1 and 2 is a better experience. But anyway, I thought this was a good talking point, considering that the community probably leans towards the remastered maps, and they do somewhat outshine the original content. But to be honest, I do like maps like Armada, Cartel, Crossroads, especially when they're in the bigger game modes of Combined Arms. And on the flip side, I do actually like the gunfight maps, the smaller maps of 2 vs 2, 3 vs 3, or when playing the face-off playlist, the 6 vs 6 maps of Amsterdam, Diesel, Game Show, ICBM, KGB, and so on, because it can actually be really fun if you are dominating in those modes. For me personally, out of the new COD games, I would say that the gunplay is probably the best here, due to the fact of the slower TTK that is offered in respect to MW19 and Vanguard's gameplay. Although I do think it's very important to point out right now that there are very strong meta guns, so knowing which gun is best for you and your playstyle will give you the competitive edge in this game, because some people do take this game a little bit too serious. They will camp lines of sight, they will use meta guns, they will try to nuke you if you give them a chance, so you have been warned. Especially if you find yourself in the sweatiest of lobbies like I do. In fact, my lobbies are so sweaty in this game that it's actually unusual to see anyone get past a 2KD. The only way that really happens is if they've camped one same spot the whole game, and the team that you've been paired with don't really know what they're doing and they don't go out and kill them. Instead, it'll be left up to you to go and deal with that situation, because the SBMM, or the skill-based matchmaking, can screw you over if you win multiple games. On that note too, I do think there is some background shadiness going on with stat manipulation. This is in favor of the weaker player to help boost their stats, ensuring that most players get closer to a positive KD, but this also punishes the way better players, and I've seen this not just for myself but other people that I've played with in the community. And although I can't exactly prove it right now because I don't own Cold War on PS4 anymore, I do actually believe that there is some hit detection compensation for people playing on console when in crossplay, because in some situations it can actually be night and day between the experience of crossplay on and off. However, I will like to point out right now, although I do highly recommend that you turn off crossplay, you may find that the game that you play starts skipping a lot more than usual. And I believe this comes down to the maintenance of crossplay compared to it being off. It definitely seems like their attention and their current attention is on crossplay. Okay, so the controller support is pretty nice in this game on PC. For anyone that exclusively plays COD using a controller, like myself, it's a casual arcade FPS after all. I'm not gonna sweat in this game and take it too seriously. I actually think that most COD games are designed to be played on controller anyway, but yeah, the overall experience is pretty good. Sometimes the aim assist can be a little bit too powerful for my liking, but mainly that is down to the fact that you can get stuck in that aim assist bubble when there are multiple targets, just like what I said in the Vanguard video. If you are wondering, in all keyboard and mouse lobby, it is easy to stay competitive with them, and that comes down to the fact that most of the recoil patterns in the game, by nature, they are designed to be controllable with, well, a controller. All in all, despite the shadiness, I do think this game is fast and fun, and does offer some really decent moments, especially if you can bring along friends with you. It's maybe not as top tier as some of the older CODs. There is a lot of free kills in the gameplay with everyone getting score streaks. The scoring system is not the best, with it favouring players going on streaks and getting kills over playing the objective. But if the things that I've said in this video don't turn you off to this game, and you can look past it, like I said at the start of the video, I do actually in fact recommend this game if you can buy it on sale and you have friends to bring along for the experience. Because of the crossplay functionality, it's also a plus that you can play with other players on different platforms, and one of the pluses is that longer lifespan because of crossplay, especially in terms of its population. So I think that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, get subscribed to the channel if you are new. Anyway, with that said, I have been Tech from Tech Evolved, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.